must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Whoever heeds discipline shows the way to life. But whoever ignores correction leads others astray. That is in the Bible, Proverbs 10:17. The reason I am quoting this verse, fellow Kenyans, is because the figures that we are hearing today are a clear demonstration that things are not getting better. And people who are telling others that things are better are lying to them. And somehow, somewhere along the line, we seem to have come to the conclusion as a society that things have gone back to normal. Today's figures show things are far, far from normal. Things are very challenging. And those who are exhibiting the indiscipline that I've referred to, leading others astray, are becoming a common phenomenon.
The government of the Republic of Kenya has made efforts, concerted guidelines, and put it out to the public of the Republic of Kenya and the citizens of Kenya. Looking at the trend of what is happening and the events that are shaping around the modeling and the sample modeling of, and a comparison with other states in the world, globally, Kenya has done very well. But there seems to be of sliding back, a culture where people want to go back. What destroys such an exercise? What brings it to a situation where people need to understand that it is not gone yet, it is here. The virus is here, is with us, is an invisible enemy. An invisible enemy for the people of Kenya to understand that they must help themselves, not help the government, but help themselves to fight the enemy. If we don't unite to fight the enemy, if we slide back to our habits, our behaviors, our eating pattern, our socializing pattern, our praying pattern, our stigma, fear, complacency, impunity. These are the things that are letting down Kenya and most of the parts of Africa. It is therefore my opinion, and our opinion, and the opinion of many other people who are at the forefront in fighting this disease, that the people of Kenya stand firm against the few individuals who are violating the regulations, the guidelines, the restrictions that the government has put in place. You failure to agree or to abide by these regulations might force the government to take more drastic measures that we might not know because we are not part and parcel of the government. But as the media, we sound what the government has said. Failure to adhere to these principles and guidelines could increase the multiplication or multiply the disease, reproduce the disease in the community. The cases of Isli, the cases of Mombasa, Majengo, where people still eat food in one common place as if they don't know what social distancing is. such acts, barbaric acts, when you have been actually given the guidelines that this disease enjoys where there is company of being together, that this disease kills when you shake hands, that this disease kills when you cough without covering your arm, with the arm, that this disease can kill if you sit in a car with a person who is either a silent carrier, a passive carrier, or an active carrier. It is up to you, the people and the citizens of the country of Kenya, to adhere to Mutahi Kagwe, to listen to the Minister of Health. The cries are not very far. We know the situation might be difficult, and many people are talking of returning to work. I can see many cars in Nairobi streets, plenty of them coming back and the traffic jam building up, which is a sign that people have returned again to work. But is it the time to do so? It is up to you as a citizen. The legacy trend, therefore, myself and other people want to call upon you to desist, to deny these few people who break the curfew, who drink in estates, who break the restrictions, who ferry people, who sleep locked up in a house of about 50 people, who eat badly, who fail to wash hands, that there is no room for complacency, because virus COVID-19 does not choose whom to attack, does not tell you how to attack. It attacks you when you fail to listen to the instructions and the guidelines that the government of the Republic of Kenya has put in place. God bless Kenya.
On coronavirus. This is our 74th day in coronavirus response and our 68th brief. Fellow Kenyans, thank you for joining us today for a daily update on the status of COVID-19 pandemic and our response to it. Today is day 74 since the first case of coronavirus was reported in our country. We have made tremendous progress and responses in combating the pandemic, and we want to reflect on some of our achievements as follows. To begin with, we are happy to note that when this campaign started, we only had 2 testing laboratories, and we are now glad to let Kenyans know that as of today, we have 20 such facilities across the country, strategically located in critical areas across the country, and with great reduced turnaround times from sample collection to receiving of results. And our plan is to continue to enhance this testing capacity across the country. Secondly, we have also trained a total of 11,000 healthcare workers, up to 60,000 community healthcare workers in collaboration with our different partners across 47 counties. And this number has enhanced our human resource capacity in our health facilities. And these trainings have featured on COVID-19 awareness, infection prevention control, and how to be able to manage COVID-19 cases. We continue to receive different resources and support from different partners. We have received support for critical care. We have ventilators coming in from our development partners, and we shall continue to ensure that we have the right capacities with regards to human resources to be able to man this equipment. We have established isolation and quarantine facilities in all the counties, and we're nearly reaching a total bed capacity of over 5,000. And we shall continue to upscale our level of preparedness to ensure that Kenyans are able to get the best healthcare services. However, as we continue to combat this pandemic, we would like to remind you that we are still not in a good place. Cases continue to be recorded, and sometimes in very large numbers, and some counties have thus been identified as high-risk counties. Numbers of infection in other counties may not be considered to be high risk, however, they are still continuing to grow, and therefore we need to enhance our alert, and this should be a concern for all of us. The containment measures that we have repeatedly mentioned, and again we shall emphasize today, include hand washing with soap, maintaining of social and physical distance, proper wearing of masks when in public spaces, and to stay at home when possible. Additional measures have been given over time, including the national curfew, cessation of movement in and out of Nairobi, Mombasa, Mandera, Kilifi, Kwale counties, restriction of movements in high cluster areas like Isili and Old Town in Mombasa. And all these measures, we are all aware, fellow Kenyans, have made life not only uncomfortable, but also difficult. However, we do maintain that these measures are necessary for us to be able to effectively deal with this pandemic. And compliance with these measures has significantly contributed to what our COVID-19 curve looks like today. The situation could be different if we had not advocated and adhered to these measures. We would like to thank Kenyans in general for their support and patriotism in observing these measures, despite the inconvenience that they have had to endure. And I would like to urge each and every one of us to continue rendering support to this fight, because that is how we shall defeat this virus. With regard to our COVID-19 situation today, our infections are yet to stabilize. Today, we have 72 individuals testing positive for the virus from 2,711 samples tested. The cumulative caseload of positives in the country therefore stands at 1,286, while a total sample of samples tested so far stand at 61,971. Of the 72 individuals, 70 of the cases are Kenyans, whereas one is of Somali nationality and the other is Ugandan. Of the positive cases, 44 are male, whereas 28 are female. The age range is between 12 years to the youngest and 78 years for the oldest. The positive cases are spread across the following counties. In Nairobi, we have 52 cases. Mombasa, 11, Kiambu, 7, Isiolo, 1, Turkana, 1. And Turkana now becomes the latest county to record a case. And this brings to total the number of counties that have reported a COVID-19 case to 29. In terms of breakdown by sub-county, in Nairobi, the cases are distributed as follows. Lang'ata has 21 cases, Dagoretti North 15, Kamukunji and Kibra 4 cases each, Embakasi East 2, Kasarani 3, Dagoretti South 1, Makadara and Mathare 1 case each. In Mombasa, 4 are from Nyali, 3 Mvita, 3 Kisauni, and 1 Changamwe. The 7 cases in Kiambu are from Limuru 2, 1 case Githunguri, Kabete, Riro, Thika, and Kikuyu all have 1 case. And 1 case from Isiolo has been identified, and that case is in mandatory quarantine, whereas in Turkana we have 1 case from Kakuma. Today we are happy to inform you that we've discharged another 9 patients who've recovered from the disease, bringing a total of recoveries to 402. And we continue to sincerely be indebted and to thank our healthcare workers for their continued dedication and hard work in ensuring the full recovery of these individuals. However, on a sad note, we now have a total fatality of 52. We lost 1 more patient to the disease, and we do condole with their families and friends and those who've lost their loved ones in this pandemic. During this time of COVID-19, we would like to emphasize 1 more measure that we find to be very important, and that is that of maintaining a healthy diet, because it strengthens our body's immune system to be able to fight diseases. And it's important to note specifically for individuals who may have underlying conditions or who may have issues such as malnourishment are at greater risk of various infections, including this of COVID-19. We'd also like to emphasize that it is important that we do pay great attention to what we eat. And in this regard, the Ministry of Health has developed several nutrition guidelines in response to COVID-19. And these guidelines are all available in the ministry's website. And the emphasis really, Kenyans, is to maintain a healthy diet, a balanced healthy diet, and to ensure also that you do put in place exercise. And we've noticed that these do go a long way in improving immunity and helping to fight against COVID-19. And finally, I would like to join all Africans across the continent who are celebrating Africa Day today a day that has been set aside by the African Union to celebrate peace and prosperity in Africa. And this year's focus continues to be a joint effort through this continent to combat COVID-19. Thank you.
Please keep them short. My name is Sophie Mwanyumba from the Ministry of Health and working under National Public Health Labs. Today we are visiting the quarantine sites within Nairobi, and the teams are being dispatched out to go and visit the sites. We have the forms which we are going to use to capture the information of the visitors who came from in the country. And we also have the sample collection apparatus, which we have the oropharyngeal swabs and the nasal swabs. And each person is supposed to be taken the 2 samples, the nasal swab and the oropharyngeal swab. We have our PPEs to protect ourselves. We have the safety gears where we are having this, and the disinfection for disinfecting the apparatus which we are going to use. The waste, we have the biohazard bags where we are going to put all the waste which is generated within the site where we are collecting the specimen. We have the biohazard bags to safeguard the environment. And with us, we have the transport media, because we have to make sure that the samples which we are going to carry, they are if the virus is there, they are viable. So we have the transport media which we are carrying with us, and we are maintaining the cold chain, because we have the cool box which is equipped with the ice packs to maintain the cold chain of the virus of the samples as we come back. To my fellow Kenyans, I have a word for you today. Kindly stay at home. I am at work to safeguard the environment and to safeguard ourselves. The corona is real. It is real with us. So please let us stay at home as the health workers continue working and supporting the government or the guidelines which they have been put on place.
I'm joining the World Health Organization's Safe Hands Challenge. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of coronavirus. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 40 to 60 seconds.
When President Uhuru Kenyatta thought of a nation, a peaceful nation, a united nation called Kenya, he scored highly to the international community and to Kenyans. When the former Prime Minister Leade Amolo Odinga thought of a nation called Kenya, he scored highly. It is that redemption strategy, the coming together of opposition and the government, the president and the former opposition leader, or the opposition leader of Kenya, that has made Kenya peaceful, united, working together to date. It is therefore very important for the people of Kenya to realize that the most important thing that every African looks at when talking about Kenya is peace. But what kills Kenya is tribal enclaves, bad elections, bad electoral mechanisms, bad political morals. People lack political morals. People lack good electoral mechanisms. People think of tribes. It is not the poor, it is not the rich, it is not the destiny, it is not the hustler nation. No. Those have been there for many times, many years. But what has killed the country is that those one key thing, elections. If Kenya can sort out its electoral mechanism, that a winning candidate embraces a losing candidate, and a losing candidate embraces a winning candidate. You work together as a nation, work together as people of Kenya. That's the day that Kenya will rise and become a very good country, beyond what it is today. But the moment we go back to our tribal enclaves, we poison the politics. We play Machiavellian politics of backstabbing, intrigue, manipulation, machinations that flow in the Kenyan political arena. It's the moment that we destroy the same nation that needs that unity. President Uhuru Kenyatta, therefore, don't give up. Former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, don't give up on unity or purpose. Always strive to unite, leave a legacy of a united Kenya. That is the price you will give to the generations, the grandchildren, to your generations that will come. You might not be there to see the price that you have, the foundation you have laid. But once you leave that legacy of a united, peaceful Kenya, both of you and many other leaders in Kenya should not give up in search for that unity. I thank you very much. Those are my views. I believe a redemption strategy, and I repeat, a redemption strategy, the healing, reconciliation, reparation, accountability, truth-telling, those are the values of the handshake, a united Kenya with capacity to accommodate all. Thank you. Thank you, listeners.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. It is the 26th of May 2020. The program is Daytime Express. The television station is Punchline Africa TV, where we have a responsibility and a duty to look at matters Africa. But on Daytime Express show, usually we look at the news making headlines across Kenya, and that is what we're going to do this morning through the newspaper headlines, and then we shall have our topical discussion that is should the leadership be feared or respected. So thank you so much for joining us. So with me on the other side from the Political Command Center is none other than Dr. David Matanga himself. Doctor, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. This is Punchline Television all the way from Nairobi. Thank you very much. How is the weather in Nairobi? Is it cloudy? Is it sunshine, wherever you are in Nairobi. Thank you.
The weather is very nice. Yes, the kind of weather that I like. Not too hot, not too cold, so works very perfect for a person like me. Thank you so much. And on our radio station there, Punchline Africa Radio, for those who don't know, we do have a radio station where we have fantastic African music from all countries across the continent. And we have Patrick Pambe. Patrick, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Dr. David Mathanga and my colleague Miriam Mugutu, wherever you are. I'm happy to join you this morning.
All right. Thank you so much. So,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pande. Let me keep the storm going.
Yes.
Viewers, COVID-19 over the weekend brought another set of figures in Kenya. Miriam, update us with the set of figures in East Africa first, and then we go to the details. We shall later on bring a debate in the afternoon or in later tonight, those who want to open and those who don't want to open. Kampala today, Dar es Salaam yesterday, the governor was calling on Dar es Salaam people to come out in big numbers and fill the city. Are we safe? Are we ready to open? Can't we see what happened in Germany? Can't we see what happened in Brazil? Can't we see what happened in South Africa when they allowed 2 days of shopping? What happened? So there you are. We leave it to you. Miriam, let's have the figures.
All right, thank you so much there, and very pertinent questions there that we have to look at in regards to opening up the country. And we start with Kenya. Right now, the figures of the number of total confirmed cases is at 1,286. The death toll in the country is 52, with one person dying yesterday. Recoveries is 392. And in South Sudan, the confirmed cases right now is 806. The death toll is 8, recoveries is 6. And in Uganda, confirmed cases is 222, recoveries there is 69. And in Tanzania, still remains the same with 509. And then we move to, of course, South Africa being the leading country in the continent. The confirmed cases is 23,615. 481 people have died. Recoveries there now stands at 11,917. And then we go to Burundi, where they had the elections the other day. So perhaps, I don't know if you'll see the numbers going up there, but right now the cases are at 42. One person has died and 20 more have recovered. And in Zimbabwe, the cases are 56. Sudan, the confirmed cases is 3,976. The death toll is 170. 503 people have recovered. Somalia, the confirmed cases is 1,594. 61 people have died. Recoveries there stands at 204. And then we go to Rwanda, where confirmed cases right now also have gone up a little at 336 cases. Recoveries is 238. So I think that's a very fantastic rate there at the number of confirmed cases versus those that have recovered. And in Ethiopia, confirmed cases is 1,051. 48 people have died and 917 others have recovered. So the total confirmed cases in the continent is 112,570. The people who have died, 3,363. Recoveries is 44,986. And all countries in Africa have been affected. And of course, Eritrea has recorded a total recoveries of all the cases. There in Eritrea, there were no deaths that were reported. And Seychelles also. All 11 cases have recovered. So in total in Africa, we have about 11 countries that have recorded some recoveries there. So that is the latest this morning, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for the update. Let's look at the situation. There are people saying President Uhuru Kenyatta should remove some of the restrictions, allow the city to go back where it is. It's already gone back. It's already gone back. We are already back. I don't know what people are talking about, allowing the city to go back. The government should know that people are already back on the streets. They're already back on the streets. This morning you saw the type of traffic entering the city is still on. So whether this is very good or bad, it depends on the government and the Kenya. The assessment of the comparative studies that have taken place worldwide show that early opening without proper structures. If you look at most of the places in the supermarkets everywhere in Nairobi, the water is no longer there. The buckets dried a long time ago. The sanitizers are not there. So we have a problem here. And let's accept that that problem will bring us quite a lot of difficulties. Now, if we go to say we want to open now, let's think of the consequences. People have gone back to the old habits. People have gone back to do what they used to do before. Therefore, it is a tragedy. It is a tragedy in the sense that we even don't know why some of the things are being talked about. I don't think it is very, my heart tells me there is something in waiting that we don't know. Whatever it is, I don't want to know. But there's something which is not tying up. And if we don't fix that something which is not tying up, we are bound to have a lot of tie-ups. And if we have a lot of tie-ups, we are bound to have a lot of cries, tears flowing. I'm saying this based on the facts that North Korea opened. North Korea has got its own infrastructure, which Kenya does not have. The hospitals in North Korea, South Korea work very well. Even in North Korea, the hospitals work. They treated their patients, by the way. Some of the best medical care in Asia is found in North Korea. They have looked, despite the sanctions, China has helped them to equip themselves with quite a lot of well-organized hospitals. You don't see patients flying from North Korea to come to India or to come to Africa for specialized treatment. But we have students, people flying to that place. So it is up to you. It is up to the government. Our role as journalists is to round out the fears, the views that we hear from the public. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And thank you there, Doctor. Very important points there that you raised. And Pambe, in the front pages of the Daily Nation here, COVID, Nairobi slum could just explode anytime. 72, the number of people who were yesterday reported to have tested positive in Nairobi reported 52 cases in a single day. One more person has succumbed. So, Pambe, is the slums, yes. Is it something that we should worry about right now? Because, you know, the CS for Health used to tell us, you know, right now the cases are being imported, but now they are in the community. So when they get to the community, that is where the bigger danger lies. So are we facing, are we in the axis of a bigger problem right now in the country in terms of COVID-19 and the numbers perhaps? Do we expect them to keep rising now that we've seen, you know, a lot of cases have been recorded, especially from the slum areas?
Yeah, automatically we must expect these cases to rise because as we are talking right now, the cases are locally transmitted. And even you have discovered that most of the counties have already reported the rise in the number of cases. Like Turkana is the latest with the first case, adding up to 29 number of counties that have reported the confirmed cases. So the local transmission is high. People are still traveling here and there. And of course, with the right contact tracing will actually help maybe the government to try and curb the spread of this coronavirus. But even besides that, the Kenyan community should style up, should actually also make efforts. With as much as the government is making these efforts, they should take the responsibility to ensure that we curb the spread of this coronavirus by washing hands and also keeping distance. We have seen people taking selfies on the streets.
Yes.
We have seen people still, keeping the social distance that they were given there, about 6 feet or 1.5 meters away. People are not considering that. So people should style up with as much as the government is trying to try and curb the spread of this coronavirus. You know, they keep on talking of these are just numbers that the government is trying to inform us so that maybe it gets some funds from outside or from donors. No, they should not have this notion in their mind. They should stop it immediately so that we join hands to curb the spread of coronavirus. And if the economy were to open even today or tomorrow, of which I don't know, the traveling
that is something that is deliberated. Yes. But just before you get to that, because you've mentioned that in the slums there, you know, people are not washing hands. We know those are the heavily densely populated areas, and especially in Nairobi. These are the places where they have water rationing. They're really unable to get the water, running water in that regard. So that could be also a challenge. But also, you mentioned contact tracing, and yesterday here in one of the papers, raised a very grave concern there, where the people who went in this mass testing that the government is carrying out now in different parts, especially in Nairobi. You'll find that somebody will go there, queue, get tested, and you have to fill in your information because just in case, so they're able, one, you're able to get your results, and two, in case you turn positive, they know how and where to come for you. But you find that people go there, key in the wrong, especially phone numbers or email address and even their physical address. They don't write the right information. So when they test,
demonstrations, a queue of over 2,000 motorbikes in Kikuyu constituency, led by the MP, demonstrating in COVID situation. Believe me or not, I think I've sent the pictures to the production team to bring out this type of situation. I don't know whether we have proper, are we together? Because it looks like we again have a problem.
No, we are together. We are together. We are together.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can't, there is a problem here. People are demonstrating right now in a COVID situation. So when you say you want to unlock this, people are going to take advantage to come back. At least you had pulled people out. Now there is a big demonstration that threatens to spread the disease. As you know, Kikuyu constituency borders the Great North. Is it the Great South or the Great North? Whatever it is. So you know the population there. You know what is happening in that place. There is quite a lot of bad blood that we see. You have seen the pictures for yourselves right now. And these pictures, they are showing the people who are supposed to be leading us, guiding the masses. They have not guided the masses. So in this scenario, believe me or not, there's bound to be a very serious repercussion if we open up now. That's my view on COVID-19. The situation is not yet very conducive. Yes, we want to do business. Yes, we want to demonstrate. Yes, we want to give food. Yes, these are some of the worries that I have. That either food, and as you will see in the next chapter, you are going to see we are touching a very serious crime, It's a crime against humanity. You see, we are heading there. And some people think it is just a scaremonger. It is not. The international community is watching. They are watching all these loopholes, all these operations that we are conducting. Tomorrow, when they label it out and read it for you, don't say you are not told. You are parading people, telling them to demonstrate in Kikuyu land, in Kikuyu constituency, parading 2,000 motorbikes in COVID-19. It is like people who is like the people in Mogadishu who were celebrating with guns. Children were celebrating with guns in Mogadishu. All what Ichungwa is doing in his constituency now is telling people like what happened in Serbia, Srebrenica, in Serbia and Bosnia, where you had to parade people who were already dead, almost dead. You saw those people in one of the camps in the Yugoslavian war. It's a crime. People are already traumatized. Let's not play with international law to bring it here. We seem to have forgotten what we did 10 years, 11 years ago. We are busy, the same team, the same script, the same operators. This time, the script has shifted to Kikuyu land. That time, your area is peaceful. You are now here. You are disrupting these guys. You have a hatred for these people. Jermaine, I am not going to sit here and wash over this. Time has come for us to tuambiane ukweli. Nyenye siku moja kama kitu inarudi tena wa Kenya, nyenye mshike hiyo kitu yeye wenyewe. Watu watawachia nyenye. Sababu you don't listen. People are not listening. Mr. Ichungwa has now paraded over 4,000 people to demonstrate. Very, very sad, Miriam.
Yes, indeed, and I think this contravenes, the measures that the government has put in place in order to, curb the spread of COVID-19. Because right now we are not allowed to be quite a number of people in a certain given area. So of course, I'm expecting that the law will take its course, and the person that is responsible, there, Kimani, Mr. Ichungwa, there, the law must, take its course, because this goes against, some of the measures that have been put in place by the government and by the Ministry of Health that does not allow, a certain number of people to be gathering at a particular given time. So I would like for us to just look at, that numbers there. Nairobi slum could just explode anytime. That is on the front pages there on the Daily Nation. And we look at Kenya's corona dilemma as infections keep an upward trend. And this is that is on the front pages of the Star newspaper. This is the most important question in Kenya right now. When and how should we lift the COVID-19 restrictions? Last Saturday, President Uhuru Kenyatta strongly hinted he is unlikely to extend all current containment measures when they expire on June 6th. Kenyan specialists are now projecting the likely benefits as well as the potential risks of reopening too soon and assuming the battle is won when it has only just begun. Patrick, have we just begun the battle with COVID-19?
Yeah, yes, of course. Looking at the trend from maybe in other countries that have reported the highest number of COVID-19, look at the country like South Sudan. That's how it starts. Just starts small and spreads high at the community level. Now that we are, that's where we are actually. And it is very, very important that responsibility among people should be at a higher level. And in this case, if actually we were to open perhaps the economy right now, or maybe other functions should resume, then it means that other things should not other actions should not, or activities should not take place, like the recreational facilities should not open right now. Look at maybe the academic facilities should not open right now, because those are places that don't actually allow for the space that has been suggested, the 1.5 meter distance. So such places. So we also have a challenge, like in the market centers. We have people are selling their products there, yes. There's no way maybe you can control the spacing there, but people will have to be so responsible in terms of washing hands and sanitizing, and also just try to keep social distance, because we have seen even in the matatus, we don't have sanitizer right now. They just started the moment the government announced that every matatu should have sanitizer and maybe washing water points and soap. So until now, they have stopped that, and they have just adapted the normal activities that they were carrying on earlier. So it is just about responsibility among us all to ensure that we curb the spread of coronavirus.
All
Yes.
right, thank you very much. And you've seen there the numbers of Kenya right now as they stand is 1,286. And on the second page there of the Star newspaper, it says the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 continue to surge after 72 new infections were reported on Monday. These huge amounts of numbers, because we're used to 4 people have been confirmed, 10 people have been confirmed, 8 people have been confirmed, but now we see the numbers are coming in droves, and this is because of the cases came, like the 72 cases came after 2,711 samples tested in the last 24 hours, and this bringing the total to 1,286. Are you surprised by the huge numbers that we're seeing right now?
Yeah, like any other Kenyan, we must be surprised. Although it's just a challenge to most of the Kenyans, because, I think when you walk just around, you'll find that some Kenyans are saying that those numbers are not real. Those numbers are not real. And they'll have to change their mind, actually, because when they continue with the norm, the number continue rising. It's very, very important for us also to take that responsibility when to go and be diagnosed whenever these health facilities or these health professionals come to your area. Like recently they were in Umoja, they came to South B. So, and today I think they're going elsewhere, the Nairobi County health facilitators. So it is very important for you to come out and also give the details. Like there you have read that some people are not giving the right details, their contacts. So they're giving contacts for their friends or their relatives. It's very, very important to give the right contacts, so that when you are contacted, you are given your results. Why have you gone there? It's very, very important for you to be responsible and wait for the result through your right contact. You cannot get the result from through another guy or another person. Very, very important to be also responsible in this particular case. But I also want to laud the government for taking up this measure, or this is the right step of doing the mass testing. Let them continue and spread all over Kenya and even across the counties, so that we know the rate of spread that is actually within us as Kenyans.
Yes, indeed. And I still can't understand why somebody will take their time, actually, leave whatever it is they were doing, go to a testing center, take their time and go there and sit there or stand or whatever, get tested, and then you don't give your right name, you don't give the right phone number, you don't give the right address. I don't understand what would advise such a thinking, because why are you even going if you're not interested to know about your status in regards to COVID-19? So I've been trying to think about it since I read this information yesterday. I'm thinking, why would somebody do this? Because if you give the wrong contact, that means you don't want to know the results. Then why did you go to get tested? Why did you waste the testing kits that we don't even have in plenty? That would have tested somebody else who would have not have a problem receiving their results. So it's very interesting, and I don't know what. Perhaps you need maybe a doctor, a professional, to perhaps explain to us what goes on through such a person's mind there. But that is now another challenge that the government has to deal with. But also, when you look at such a case, because the government, initially, people did not want to come out and get tested because they were saying they cannot afford, the amount or the money that was required. Should they go to the hospital, they could not afford to pay for the bills. But the government came out and said, if you go there voluntarily, or you have been you've tested positive through contact tracing, then you don't have to worry. The government will foot your bill. So this was expected. That will encourage more people to go out there and get tested. And indeed, we've seen a good amount, a number of people going out there and getting tested. But when you listen now to these other challenges that are coming out, why are people scared? Because the government is going to take care of your bill at the end of the day, because that was the biggest. You're going to get well, and also you don't have to worry about the bill.
Yes. I think we still have stigma among people. Just the way you have been seeing, especially I've seen people not volunteering to go and be tested of HIV, AIDS. And of course, that is what is actually still lingering in people's minds, that when I'm found with this disease, when I'm diagnosed with this disease, what will happen to me? Maybe I will just die tomorrow. So if people are still fearing, that stigma is still lingering among our minds. And maybe in the near future, we shall require psychologists to advise us on how to maybe overcome this stigma. Kenyans are still having the stigma and among us.
All right, so it is the stigma that is making a lot of people shy away from going to get tested, but also those who go get tested and don't want to receive their result. I don't know what you call that, because that has nothing to do with stigma now. You took yourself there. That is just some warped thinking that requires a professional to help me understand, because I don't get it. I don't get it. How I'll go, take my time, leave whatever it is I was doing, go queue somewhere, get tested, and then I don't want to know the results. But then why was I going? See, it's just something that does not even add up. So we look at the front pages of the Star newspaper, broken, vows. I don't know if Doctor is back yet. Eyes on Ruto as Uhuru convenes a top Jubilee meeting. I think there's supposed to be a meeting today. Paj, Secretary General Raphael Tuju says a party will not spare any disloyal members. I don't know what you make, because this is something that has been playing out not just in the recent past, but since, has happened for the last couple of years now. And we've seen, especially after the apparent split of Jubilee Party in the middle, and allegiance and all of that. And now, the Jubilee Party is coming out and is saying, you know what, if you're not loyal to the party, because your loyalty lies with the party, because it is the party that, brought you, allowed you to have that seat there. But now we see, even in the different camps, even in opposition and in other parties, you find that they have a few members who are not very loyal in regards to the party. And so this purge that our president has been taking in the Jubilee Party, are we expected to see more of that in other parties, or what do you make of this?
Of course, we are expected to see more of this coming up just soon, because even you can see the NASA coalition might be doing the same soon, because the ODM was to make some changes on the same. But all this is coming up because some of the people or the party dissenters or dissenters are digging against what you call the handshake, and consensus politics. There are people who still want us to go back to 30 years that we used to have divided minds and divided politics, whereby huyu ni mtu wetu was coming in, and there are still people who are accusing the government of jeopardizing Ruto's chances to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. So, and we have also seen even the DP himself not really coming out strongly to oppose this, perhaps, but he has been doing it on the internet, on Twitter account. Like recently, he said, "Jubilee fraternity should not ignore propaganda that is peddled by desperados seeking to ragtag ethnic coalitions." But we see most of his allies are actually aligned in ethnic lines, and they're still pushing the ethnic politics, of which they have to actually style up on this, because they talk this during the day and they do the opposite at night. So such things. And we have seen even the Deputy President, William Ruto, having been conspicuously absent in all government addresses that have been made by President Uhuru Kenyatta. You saw even the recent one where President Uhuru Kenyatta was unveiling the economic stimulus package.
Yes.
Actually, under normal circumstances,
maybe his social distancing.
The deputy, yes, please, yes, please.
Maybe his social distancing. Who knows?
Yes, but we saw other cabinet secretaries there.
Yes.
I saw Mutahi Kagwe, for Minister of Health there. We saw Matiang'i for Interior. He was there, among others. But they just keep social distance of 1.5 meters.
Yes, and they were present. Indeed, it has been very telling. And of course, that goes to, demonstrate how much perhaps the center might not
Can I come in? Where are you now?
Oh, thank you. You're back. I'll be just looking at the Star newspaper. The front page is there. And the purge, Secretary General Raphael Tuju says party will not spare any disloyal member. So we're just looking at disloyalty when it comes to a Kenyan political scene.
Look, I don't know why you are sugarcoating.
We were waiting for you, Doctor.
This thing has fallen apart.
Yes.
That's it. We have tried. Some of us are peacemakers. I am a peace lover. I have negotiated an agreement in life before. Ruto has never negotiated any peace and a war agreement where men have killed 1 million people. I have. Look at me. I've told you Kenyans, you need a redemption strategy. If you don't have a redemption strategy, the healing, reconciliation, accountability, restitution, reparations, if you don't sound that, which ends up to unity and reconcile, unite, move on. What we are doing right now is very simple. Let me maybe talk like this so that the people can remember me. That man from Uganda who shouts, I don't care. Call me all the names. None of you has ever done a conflict as big as the Uganda national conflict of the Road Resistance Army with the government of Uganda for 22 years. I have seen what some of you have not seen. And don't underrate the words I say. If you don't want, the world will watch you. Very soon, we are going to walk back to where we are. You have now seen what Ichungwa and his group are doing in Kikuyu. You have seen. So if people are not talking, let's take responsibility Be careful to take responsibility. Why are you distributing food in an area which is not your area? What for? Why are you not putting this food? These are the questions lawyers are going to ask you in the future. Mr. Deputy President, they will ask you with your orange jacket, you are distributing food up there. What for? Why don't you put this food in a national basket and sit back, announce to the president that I have brought 400 million, which I had hidden somewhere. I bought food. Let's talk frank. Just forget this thing. Or we close and keep quiet. If we are not educating Kenyans and we are speaking in a shy way, people are going to die here, Mjamin. Watu watakufa hapa. It's not a lie, it's not a scare. The type of things that now, I think let's start even in the program of 11 o'clock to Marizania, because you look at the situation, media. The type of life that is taking shape here, that I am not coming, I'm not. Why don't you go? You used to go there. You used to block some people not to go there. Now you have been blocked. You are also, you look like a Zoe. You have blocked so many people. You have damaged people's names. People have been quiet. Now here you are crossing the line, Jamen. The international community is watching. The moment you start playing with food, I've just given you a sample of Bosnia-Herzegovina and Serbia, the main Milosevic and his friends. This is one of the things that tied them. It's not the actual killing. It's the actual poisoning of the food in Bosnia and Serbia. All of them were taken. Don't ever touch food. You can do your politics, but don't touch food. I don't know why the deputy president is touching food. Where has he hidden this food, which he cannot put in a national kitty? The people now need food, we know. Everybody in Nairobi needs food. But now, are you going to distribute food? How will you say it was not poison? You have not made it pass through the National Standards Bureau. It is not in a government team. The lawyer will ask you one thing. Was there a distribution channel for food? Yes. Then why did you take your private food? What will you tell people? What to Jamen? You escaped the other one. This is very serious. I'm telling you, stop this mess of food. Food is a very dangerous item. I'm not going to sit here and talk like a baby. I was born much earlier than the DP. I started school when people have not started school. I talk as an elder. Because you see I don't have gray hair, it's up to you. But we are heading there. Remember, it was only this same stupid man here with these glasses who was fighting, who was selling his car to go and defend you people. And now you are coming in it again. Because you want to rule this country. You rule trees, or you might not rule. It's God who knows what is going to happen. Let's talk to Ambiani Okweli, Jamen. You are Kenyans, I'm not interested. If you don't want me to talk about it, I'll keep quiet like this. There are so many topics that I want to talk. I can address them anywhere on planet Earth, including America. I can insult President Trump in America, in New York, and get a plane and go. Come back home. I'm not going to be party to this stupidity. This is too much. The citizens of Kenya are suffering, Jamen. They want a guidance. They are traumatized with COVID-19. The trucks are on the way 10, 50 miles. We don't know what solution we take. Now tumeanza bitangine. Internal squabbles, internal beta. Where does this end? Because someone wants power, the power is waiting for you. Sicily is burning. Rome is under the Pope. Deal with Sicily first. For me, Miriam, I think it summarizes. Don't be a leader who is feared. Be a leader who is respected.
Yes, Doctor.
Hey!
And that is on the front pages, and I was just waiting.
But we are still in the topic itself.
Yes.
We knock it with so many things. Let's not to rely on some garbage newspapers that they write garbage. This is tough. Yellow. Feared. You feared who? Feared by who? Feared by those who fear him, who don't tell the truth. Feared by the same people, like Moses Kuria, who went to buy witnesses to fix him. He fears those. Me, Matanga, I never bought any witness to fix anybody. I have never. I found a situation very bad. I helped my brothers. But the people they are dealing with are the same people who brought witnesses to fix them. Moses Kuria speaking on the whistle behalf. Isn't he the one who went to the Rift Valley to look for people to fix Ruto? Is Mulukomen one of them, not one of them, who wrote 42 pages? Is Sang, the governor of Nandi, not one of them? Muzungumza na watu wale hano pakaratasi. Mimi niko na makaratasi kutoka ICC niko nazo. Kama mtu anaanza kucheza tatoboa hiyo, niweke ndani, nje watu waone. You are just disrupting people. People want peace now. Why do you distribute food when there is a government channel to distribute food? Why don't you go with the police commissioner? Why don't you go with the regional commissioner? So that people cannot say there is poison in your food. Why are you doing things clandestine? Why are things not happening in the home where you come from when the shops in Eldoret want to close? People want to close their business, they're not doing business. Why are you doing this here? Why? Why? These people are more hungry than those ones? Are these people more hungry than those ones? Are people to Canada, they don't want food? Why don't we distribute the people in the Tana River? Why don't we go in where you are digging farms and the farm? Taveta, watu wanataka chakula huko. Go there. Why one constituency in the whole Mount Kenya bringing chaos? And the same constituency in 2009, 2008, brought chaos. Hey. You see what is happening there? The guy has bring that picture which is coming from Kikuyu place now. Bring it on the platform. What that Kenyans see, they might think I'm a madman talking of nonsense. Bring the picture. Whose cars are leading in COVID-19? Whose cars are leading the convoy to demonstrate? Production team, bring back the picture. Bring it there. You can't say you are feared. A leader must be respected, not feared. Don't be narrow. Emperor narrow. I told you. I wrote last week and the people were asking me, who is Emperor Nero? Who is Nero? Have you seen? That's what they call here. Have you seen this? This is it. This is the brain. I told you. I was seeing an Emperor Nero. I was seeing an Emperor Nero because I don't use tongues. I use brains. Stephen, bring the pictures on the floor of people who are demonstrating in a convoy in Kikuyu town. Our correspondent has picked them now.
There's so many people there, Doctor.
What wrong have we done? Are the pictures on?
Yes, they just brought them there. And why? What are they demonstrating about?
They are talking about the food. They are demonstrating against the president that he sent people to distribute food. It is there. You have seen I don't know because my system is not working. But these are pictures coming from our correspondent from Kikuyu town has picked motorcycles of about 1,000 motorbikes, border people. This is a COVID time. Chairman, what is it? What is it that we want, media?
Very good.
Have I spoken my mind out?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Loud and
clear. And maybe if I may just add on something here, you find that recently Moses Kuria said that Uhuru has taken steps to intimidate the Tanga team. Further still, we saw that William Ruto's allies have blasted the president with the claims that he's militarizing state agencies. You remember people like Soy MP Caleb Kostanya and Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei saying that the president now appears to trust only the military and intelligence officers. So such talks, including even the one that Kipchumba Murkomen said, that I would never have imagined when we passed the Constitution 2010. It is a shock that active military men who are supposed to operate in barracks and the borders of Kenya are running civilian governments. Let me also add on something here, that Deputy President, when he went to Kikuyu the other day, we were also told that he went to inspect a certain dam, forgetting that there's a Kimwarer and Aror dams that were to be constructed, but they are not surfacing anywhere. Why is he going to inspect a dam that it is never heard of? Yet the Aror and Kimwarer dam, those are dams that are just they were like dreams. Mm-hmm. That is what is hurting me. It is ironical.
Look here, Mr. Victor Cheriot said, we share with people. Why don't you share with yours first, where you come from? Victor Cheriot, share with yours. Why are you coming to distribute food in the backyard of the president every time, inciting the people in his backyard? That's where the trouble is. Some of us have tried to be patient not to say these words, but it's now time to tell the truth. When a headline of this nature, feared, this headline is not good for the president, for a future president. That why Ruto is feared, is not respected, is feared. Anybody reading this headline will simply say, is this man a mafia?
So it is damaging.
Of the Sicilian mafia.
It is damaging for his reputation.
It's a very damaging headline.
To be feared.
It's not anything good. The newspapers have done a damage. And this damage is coming. And some people are even positing themselves on social media. He's our man. He's feared. Feared by who? It's a damage. It has damaged. If there was Jubilee candidate going to stand, it's a damage. Isn't it, William? Feared by who? International community will fix you on this fear. So you said you are a very good man.
Yes. God
fearing. Then you are feared. No lawyer will, this time, I'm telling you, ujue hiyo maneno. where you are heading, Kenyans, I just appeal to you. This is the first show of this week. This morning is the Kenyan show. These headlines are not very good. Anybody poisoning food, whether you are Mr. X or whatever you are, whoever you are, that is not very good. And I stand to condemn, because food is a tool that can create you a lot of trouble. Wacha niwaambie msikie. You can dish your money. Nobody will know that there was money. But you touch food and start poisoning it. Or start doing whatever you are doing, or whoever is doing this, because you want to buy cheap popularity. Why don't you give the food to the government and stand aside? If you are popular, even if the food is given to the government, you will still win the vote. Sindio tunawaambia iko numbers. Why are you going to the extent yourself to the ground to give food? That's buying cheap popularity, which is going to cause a problem here. These people are my friends. I am totally, let me tell you, I'm totally not a happy man.
Yes.
I'm totally not a happy man. This is a party that is supposed to lead Kenya. When you see that MP called Ichungwa, this is a mercenary from George Soros, who has been sent to disrupt this country. And the trouble is going to spring from there. Why is it? It is only his constituency where the poison food was found. Why? Why can't he explain to people? Jermaine, the security agencies, wake up. Wake up. Caution people. He cannot be given publicity. When there are people who sat down and they are distributing food, when the government is distributing food, whom is he opposing? Whom is he opposing? He's opposing the president who said food must be distributed by the district commissioners. So mumulete, shika mutu, mulete ndani, akuwe na charge. Why are you giving him the leeway to spread the gossip around here? You are building a regime change by allowing him to parade demonstrators in Kikuyu town. Tomorrow another demonstrators will start from Kibura. The ones of Raila will come from Kibura. Or the ones from Simbarati are going to come. What if they meet? Look at that comedian, MP, a comedian. Look, what are you going there to do? What? That you are distributing food. You are a whole deputy head of state who could be a commander-in-chief tomorrow. Sawa. Give me a break.
Yes.
Yes. They are the same people who are saying that even the BBI is a draft of changes in favor of some people, that they are going to be in the field to play with, especially to search for votes, people like Raila Odinga. So they are not considering that BBI is going to build the bridges that were broken here in Kenya, the political bridges. And of course, BBI is kind of advocating for consensus politics. They are the same people who are behaving just like kids, not really wanting to support the presidential initiative or the president's initiative in the Big Four agenda. They are the ones who have been claiming that the houses or the housing part of the Big Four agenda that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been pushing forward is not going to perhaps to succeed. So they are kind of fighting the government from within. This is unacceptable.
And they are fighting their own government.
Yes.
It is Jubilee government. It is not Raila Odinga fighting it, who is in opposition. It is the government itself eating itself. Jubilee, Jupiter President, has taken a chunk of MPs, polished them with money, and given them handouts, given them security handouts. I want to ask one question.
Yes.
If the bank governor says we can't draw more than 1 million shillings, I want to ask you one question. As a layman of international banking and commerce, where did these guys get the 440 million to buy, to feed 200,000 people? Which account was this money drawn? If it is from the account, can the governor explain how 400 million can leave an account? Yet we have a regulation that you only draw 1 million shillings. That regulation has not been rescinded. Unaona, maneno ndio hiyo. So all these things are going to appear. They are appearing. So for me, let me tell you, my sister and the brother, very soon I will keep quiet about this. I woke up at 4 a.m. I looked at the scenario of Machiavellian politics, which I've been singing to you, younger generation here, that there is anybody who wants to know the Kenyan politics currently, go and read Nikolai Machiavelli, the Prince. You will find out what I mean and what I have been saying. It is here.
All right.
That's it.
Yes, and Doctor, you shown the headline there on the Standard newspaper, why Ruto is feared, and down there it says he is the most talked about politician today, and his every step closely monitored by allies and foes alike. So down there we see some reaction by some political leaders in this country, and the first one is Nyeri Town MP Ngunjiri Wambuga, and he says, he's quoted to say, there is nothing that the DP is being accused of that has no basis. He can't say it is a political witch hunt. So there has been some, Deputy Ruto's, allies and camp sometimes have been coming out reacting to some of these, allegations out there and saying they're not true. It is a political witch hunt and all of that. But Nyeri Town Member of Parliament has come out to say that the DP, everything that he's being accused of has a basis, is not far-fetched.
Yes, I agree with Mutula Kilonzo and the Nyeri MP. Ngunjiri, I agree with them. Self-made, self-inflicted. One of the self-inflicted jobs is going to distribute food when there is a district commissioner. To be seen on the track. You have got votes already. People love you. Why do you go to distribute small items? Cabbage and a Kimbo. Why don't you fly a helicopter and go to Turkana and stay in the desert there, wear some rough uniform and, do some things with the Turkana people? Why are you concentrating in an area, backyard of your friend? That is envy of the highest degree. Omutima omubi, omufundu, bad heart. Because my neighbor has a shirt. Because Patrick has a shirt. Patrick Mpande has a shirt like this. I'm not saying the one you bought looks like this, or the one you have. Because I have a shirt, a nice shirt, you also go, my neighbor goes to buy a similar shirt. Let me show him. Why was he looking so nice? You know, people who have that hat are very many here, I tell you. The spontaneous killings that took place in Kenya in 2008 2007 was because of envy. That envy. Someone said this man has a very beautiful wife. He's waiting to rape your wife. It's true. Some of us in 1986, 85, when Okero soldiers, our friends we worked with, came to our houses, raped our children, raped our women. I'm telling you, personally I'm telling you, because of envy, they were saying, where is he? They are looking for us. Yet we worked together. Where is his money? Where does he keep his briefcase? Where are his suits? They looted even our suits. If you think we have not gone through it, I'm now telling you. Some of us arrived with one trouser in Uhungu Stadium in 1985, 27 July, Saturday. I've never forgotten that day. The socks that were wearing the following day are the same socks because there was no time to remove and change the socks. But we had suits, we had cars, we had wives, we had children, we had property. It was taken. When you see us, wherever you are here, don't think we have not suffered. So you continue to do, dismember your country, it's up to you. But the advice that we give you is to make sure we are not condemning anybody. I don't have evidence that somebody has stolen. I don't have Matanga. That evidence lies with DCI. I talk what is on the newspaper. So if you want to kill me because of what I've talked, what they have written. Matanga does not work in the standard. Matanga works in a journalism. He's a small man with nothing, but a very good guy who came to save you in 2008. I spoke, the first man, and I'm proud for having spoken. I am proud for having stood up. There is no way you will ever dismember me, whether here or wherever I will be. I will still respect President Uhuru Kenyatta. So go and hand. He doesn't pay me. No. I just like his Pan-Africanism. It's just like I liked Mugabe. Was Mugabe paying me? Just as I like Mnangagwa. Is he paying me? What? Just as I like Kagame. Is he giving me money? I talk facts. That's why I give credit to Museveni. Some of the things Museveni does need to be lauded. They are good. They are good. On COVID-19, he has scored. I should tell him that he hasn't worked well. Is there Ugandan who has died? Wouldn't I be stupid for me to stand in the international media to condemn President Museveni when there is no Ugandan who has died? No, I can't follow. I can't follow Besigye because he's a leader of opposition. Yet he was the one who wrote the rules that made most of us run away. So let him sleep on the bed that he made. Hey, this other younger man in Uganda sings songs in praise. He sang songs. Hey, wherever. Thank you very much, Daddy, 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 Daddy. Now, sleep on the bed. I have never sung a song. I have never worked. I have never written as a political commissioner the laws that are killing Ugandans. Never. Me, I'm innocent. I've gone my way. I disagree. I give credit where it's due. Yes, security is very good. COVID has done very well. Education is very good. There are things there you can be. People need security. Giving food in Kampala, it is only the government. If they find you giving 1 kilo, you know what happens. Here now you have allowed everybody to maintain. Maybe you and me, Miriam, we also have we start with our bags and go and give food. Then 2 people, 3 people will die. They will come. You will see how messy it is. So there you are. I leave it there.
All right, and yes, but Doctor, we shall still return here at 11 and just look at this and how it poses perhaps a national security. Remember also when Raila also tried to distribute food in Kibera, what happened, and that necessitated the government to put measures in place for anybody, for any Kenyan who wants to help. There is a channel and there is a way to do this. So we shall.
And when Raila was stopped, have you seen him distributing food anymore? No, but these ones, even if now, tomorrow you will see them somewhere else. So let the president deal with that. It's not my mess. My mess is to wait. Mark you, the international community, or what I want to tell you, Miriam, hey, those people document everything. They are watching. Thank you.
All right, so when we come back at 11, I see it's about 10:30, we shall look at this matter in depth. And that's why, Doctor, earlier on when you...
And also, yes, we want to add something on that matter.
And on national security, yes.
National security.
We shall look at it from that perspective and such activities what they can do, yes, to a country.
Yeah, let them bring the topic. I wanted to add something. Let's do 2 sections, but those ones we can just talk about the children celebrating with their guns in Mogadishu. What type of culture are we teaching people?
So what were they celebrating about? The end of Eid or what?
Even if it is Eid, do you celebrate with a gun?
No, you don't.
Is there no Quran? Yes.
All right, we shall look at that.
The children celebrating. You saw the children with the guns in the streets of Mogadishu. Is that the life in Africa we are having? We are teaching a future generation that without the gun you cannot live. Another plane, Kenyan plane, was shot while landing. You have forgotten that. I've got all this. I get my information first class, first, before it arrives.
You get it.
Yes. Yes. Another Kenyan plane carrying food was shot with a bullet, and I will show you the pictures when it was landing in one of the places in Somalia. Again, what is Ethiopia telling us? And it is in Ethiopian territory sector, and they claim they are not the ones. Who is shooting these planes? As we discussed the food situation, as our man, Mr. Bijiwe, comes online, the technical expert, and you, myself, and Mr. Pandey,
yes,
let's enjoy.
All right. I'm looking.
Those are the things.
Yes.
Bring the topic. Food could be used as a political tool to destabilize national security.
Yeah,
Discuss.
It's usage of food as a political tool could harm a national security. A very interesting topic there. Among other issues there that the doctor has mentioned, we should put them together and then we will have a wonderful show. So I'm hoping to see you here at 11 for frontline security.
Thank you very much, Miriam.
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.